Be on the lookout for a white late model Toyota pickup. Last seen leaving the NCO club heading north on 1st Street. Driver is white, male civilian, 5'8", 155 pounds. He is suspected of assaulting a woman at the NCO club. He is armed with a handgun carried in his waistband. Repeat, he is armed with a handgun carried in his waistband. Clear.
Well, your vehicle is to the right, stop where you are. Stop where you are and kneel down. When you're on the ground, face down with your arms straight out. Palms up and legs spread wide apart, head to the left. Turn your head to the right.
Turn your head to the left. I'll work my way along the outer part of his right leg to the shoe. Then back up the inner leg to the crotch and right buttock, squeezing every inch of clothing as I go.
Many times, evidence of a crime or of criminal intent can only be found by searching a person, property, or premises. But unless that search has been authorized by a commander or his or her delegate, or is based on the consent of an individual, or is part of an apprehension, it may be illegal, and any evidence obtained will be inadmissible at a court-martial.
Switching hands, I'm now searching the right side of his body, including the armpit, shoulder, neck, and right side of his head and hair. Then I'll guide his right arm behind his back to lift him off the ground. If the suspect gives me any trouble, I can apply pressure to his neck or grasp his middle fingers. We could also handcuff him at this time.
Minimizing the high risk of a search begins with the use of proper techniques. Searching only in the presence of another patrolman or a military working dog, and in selecting the best position for the search itself.
I know that this suspect was seen with a gun, so I want the control that a prone position will give me. If he were kneeling, I'd also have considerable control, and if he were drunk or on drugs, either position would be good. If he were not dangerous or drunk, I'd lean him against a wall or a vehicle and search him standing up. Here, with his body lifted off the ground, I have access to his waistband, abdomen, groin, and torso. I'll also check out his right shoulder and down his right arm to his hand. Only then will I move over to his left side.
While a suspect's luggage, purse, coat, or hat can be searched by a patrolman of the opposite sex, the suspect's person should only be frisked for weapons and then handcuffed if necessary and transported to a location where he or she can be searched by someone of the same sex. A strip search would also be conducted by a member of the same sex before a suspect were confined.
We did not find a weapon on the suspect. However, after we got permission from the commander, we searched his vehicle and found it under the front seat. We took the suspect back to headquarters, and he was later turned over to civilian authorities.
While an installation commander can authorize a search based on his or her belief that a crime has been committed, he or she can also initiate a random check of vehicles or buildings to maintain base security and protect government property. Unlike a search, a random check is not based on evidence of a crime, nor is it directed at a specific person, property, or premises. And although this vehicle check has been set up at a specific time and place, The vehicles to be stopped will not be selected by the on-scene patrolman, but according to a random pattern predetermined by the commander.
This is a quick car, right?
Right.
Random checks are usually conducted by 2 patrolmen, often with the assistance of a military working dog. They're done on both military and civilian-driven vehicles, and initially based on permission of the driver. If permission is refused, the driver is advised that base driving privileges or registration can be revoked, that they may be debarred from the base, or that other action may follow.
By order of the base commander, we are doing random vehicle checks. Do I have your permission to check your vehicle?
All right.
Could you please shut off your engine? Open up your glove compartment. Please step out of your car and open up all the doors. Could you please open up the back of your vehicle? And please step over there.
Military working dogs are often used on patrol, and nowhere are they more effective than in detecting drugs and explosives. We work as a team. I'll lead her to whatever needs to be checked. She'll alert on whatever it is that we're after. First, I'll take her around the exterior of the vehicle, paying special attention to bumpers, wheels, wheel wells, hubcaps, fenders, and the trunk. It's only when she finishes the outside that I'll lead her to the vehicle interior, where she'll check the seats, floorboards, dash, and the glove compartment. I will, however, keep her off the seats and from coming in contact with the vehicle interior as much as possible.
Smacky, come on. What you got, huh? What's up there? Come on, Smack. Over here. Under there. Come on, what you got on there, huh? What you got? That's right, what you got? Good girl, yeah. Good girl. Yeah, that's it. See? Good girl. Herman Gruber, we got a hit.
What's going on here?
May I have your driver's license, please?
Yeah, sure. Really, I don't know anything about this.
Police control, this is Patrol 2.
With probable cause to believe a crime has been committed, what was a random check now becomes a search for drugs. It's now necessary to advise the suspect of his rights, complete a consent to search form, and request permission from the driver to search the vehicle.
Please stand over there, please.
Even if the driver consents, it should be backed up by authorization to search from the commander,
Yeah.
after which the dog may be used to search the vehicle for additional drugs.
That's my car.
Okay, thank you. Step over there, please.
Because a small container of precious metal is missing from the base Defense Property Disposal Office, and reliable information points to a female employee's vehicle, the commander has authorized a search of her vehicle and its contents after she refused permission during preliminary questioning.
Depending on the size of the contraband, points of concealment in a vehicle may be limited only by a person's imagination. In looking for a container about 6 by 8 inches, my search will be more thorough than if I were looking for a stereo. If this search was for something even smaller than the container, I'd check the back of the license plate, the inside of the gas tank cap, and inside the lights. Although I can start at any point on the vehicle and proceed from that point on, I must do the exterior first. Here at the wheel, I'll search the fender, wheel well, and if necessary, inside the hubcap. Since the box could fit under the hood, I'll check that too. As you can see, there are a lot of choice hiding places here. A small object could be taped onto any of these hoses or wires, could be suspended inside the radiator, or concealed behind the grill. The trunk is another place full of possibilities, and again, depending on what you're looking for, you could check in or around the spare tire, in the space between the trunk lid and the frame, under a floor mat, and of course, any container or box that might be there. Since my authorization to search includes the vehicle's contents, I'll check this briefcase because the metal could be hidden inside. Moving on into the interior, and again keeping in mind the size of what I'm looking for, I'd check the glove compartment, the floors, and under the seat. If the object were very small, I'd check under the floor mats, in the vent ducts, ashtrays, and behind the sun visors. I'd also look at the dome light, in the crevices between the seats and seat backs, in the door paneling, and under the dash. But if anything more thorough were required, that would probably be done by OSI. Ma'am, would you like to accompany me to the law enforcement desk?
Yes, but I'd like to get my things first.
Sure.
Sergeant Rich, Hangar 1000, may I help you?
Now you listen, and listen good. There's a bomb over there, and it's set to go at 3.
Wait a minute, what are you talking about? Who is this?
I said 3, it blows.
Hi, security police, this is Sergeant Rich over in Hangar 1000. We just had a bomb threat. Yeah, it was a male caller. He said it was set to go off at 3 o'clock. That's all he said. Yeah, in Hangar 1000. Everyone else is out with the last 2.
Good. You mentioned of delivery here today?
Yeah, a couple of guys brought over a generator this morning, but they're in and out of here all the time.
Is there any public access to the building?
No, not really. Usually everything's pretty quiet over here. Have you noticed anything unusual, Airman Ians?
No, like you said, it's been pretty quiet.
Sergeant Rich, you come with me. Airman Ians, you go with Sergeant Trent. We'll take the east half of the building. You two take the west half. We'll start outside first and do the first floor by searching the bathroom, storage area, other common use areas. Find anything suspicious, don't touch it. We'll call Bomb Dog and EOD if necessary. Y'all ready? Yeah. Let's go. Only after evacuating the building, obtaining as much information as possible about what we're looking for, and checking the exterior, do we enter and begin a general inspection of the area. Just be careful and just take it slow.
Okay.
With Sergeant Trent and Airman Ians taking one half of the building and we the other, we'll start at the bottom and work our way up,
Flies in there.
room by room. Let's check it out. We'll just work our way around the room here. What's this crate here?
Well, that's been here a couple of weeks.
A search can follow several different patterns depending upon the size and nature of the object being sought. When the crime scene is known, searchers can move outward from it in a circular pattern as they look for evidence. Outside, searchers commonly move from side to side across an area that's been divided into strips approximately 4 feet wide. They can then move back across the strips, forming a grid-like pattern if a more thorough search is required.
Whatever the type of search, it must be systematic and move from point to point. So after making a general inspection of an area, we focus on desks, cabinets, vents, and furniture, remembering to look both high and low.
And instead of entering a dark room and switching on the lights, we'll use a flashlight. Since the search for a bomb demands special care, we avoid the use of radios, especially near a suspected package. We'll also try to turn off office machines and electrical equipment so that we'll have a better chance of detecting a ticking noise.
In addition to the precautions we take about turning things on and off, if the phone rings while we're in the building, we won't answer it.
Wait a minute, that's not one of our toolboxes.
Don't touch that. We'll call an explosive detector dog. He's coming out.
Figured didn't find anything, probably.
Check the toolbox. It's okay. The rest of the building's clean.
Is it all right for us to go back in now?
No, let's wait till after 1500 hours to be sure it's safe.
What's on your slack? See, good girl.
A random check of the barracks for drugs is based on the same principle as for a vehicle, that a commander can authorize a check of either one for drugs.
Come on, girl. What's up, huh? Nice girl. Up. See, good girl. There, come on.
If and when drugs are detected, the commander is called to authorize a search, and therefore any evidence seized will be admissible in a court-martial. While this search authority is being obtained, the occupant should be held outside and the room secured to prevent destruction of evidence.
Good girl. Yeah, that's a girl. That's a good girl.
Yeah? Who is it?
This is the base security police. Please open the door.
It's also a good idea to have a security policeman outside the building to watch for evidence being thrown out a window.
What's going on?
I'm Airman Beacott of the base security police. The base commander has authorized the check of this building. May I have your permission to search your room?
Come on, man. There's nothing inside. I was sound asleep. You're wasting your time. There's nothing in there.
Airman Sullivan, I'm a representative of the base commander who has authorized a search of your room. Please stand aside and let Airman Beacott and myself enter.
Go ahead.
With the first sergeant acting as witness, we entered the room. I immediately started the dog around to the left, working her from one area to the next. I knew if there were any drugs in this room, she'd be the one who'd find them.
Go on, there. There. What's that, huh? What's that, huh? What's in there, huh? Good girl. Yeah, that's my girl.
She has one right there, First Sergeant.
See, come on. Come on, that's a girl.
Whether searching a person,
Come on, baby.
property, or premises. Whether looking for a weapon, stolen property, or drugs. the basic principles of any search remain the same.
In there.
It must be thorough,
Good girl.
systematic,
In there.
and executed as quickly as possible. It must also be based on a firm legal foundation and conducted only with proper authorization, with permission of an individual, as part of an apprehension, or to protect life or limb.
Wait a minute, that's not one of our toolboxes.
Don't touch that. Call in explosive detector dog.
When such techniques and legal guidelines are followed, search becomes one of the most effective law enforcement tools of the Air Force Security Police.